I have that flag back there. I will avenge her with it. I've also been doing some research. I know what people's abilities are. I want to get Celestia's
danganropa.
Because that'll be helpful with other people. I also want to get the fortune teller guy thing. Because if you haven't noticed, I have a very hard time with the battles, the bullet time battles. So we investigate the library because I did a bit off screen, which I didn't upload yet. We're just gonna be looking around for a little while, probably a long time.
I feel it.
That's it.
Problem is finding out where the warehouse is. Oh, that's right! Oh, we're in the Spare Hotel. So this is what that is. Hey, Celeste.
Most Actually,
I saw her. She was in the warehouse waiting early.
indeed.
Before midnight.
What are you doing out this late?
Oh, I was just...
Are you planning to go exercise, perhaps?
What? How did you know?
Because I can see a blue track jacket sticking out of that duffel bag you're carrying.
Oh, you're right. Thanks. Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Yes, indeed.
Thanks, Celestia. You're a good friend. Problem is, let's go check the laundry. The laundry's our next stop. Yes. Let's go investigate that. I want to investigate that shirt. Not for Not for anything weird, just, it's for the case. Yeah, it's for the case. I'm not...
I'm sorry.
We should investigate that case now. I'm gonna investigate. It's okay, buddy. Cheer up. The laundry room should definitely have something to do with it. Our shoe stuff. Will be in here? Blue.
Actually, indeed. What are you doing out this late?
Oh, I was just...
Are you planning to go exercise, perhaps?
What? How did you know?
Because I can see a blue track jacket sticking out of that duffel bag you're carrying.
Oh, you're right. Thanks. Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Yes, indeed.
Where would a person go with a blue? Okay. Let's go. First one we're dispose of a blue, the duffel bag. We already put the duffel.
I see. That's it.
Oh, we checked everywhere. I think about it. I never went to the dining hall.
Yeah! Huh? Well... Yeah, totally.
Talk to the boys all the time.
Ah!
It's the moment you've all been waiting for! The class trial! You remember where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school.
Window.
Let's review our evidence. Uncommon file. She was killed instantly. With one object. 2 a.m. Dumbbell. Oh, it should be able to enter at the same time. Shows mail is dead placed here. Posting words is broken to places Leon's. Killed Bloodlust. Kept her distance. Squeeze at the beginning. Harry pissing. And I can't reach outlet. Sorry. Let's go. So is everyone ready to what? My blind, are you missing someone?
Yo.
Yeah, Taco's not here. And Choco is... You really don't remember? Kidding, I'm just kidding. How can I forget that little nut job? Crucial part of the case trial this time.
What are you gonna
Okay,
do?
just I'll go ahead and drag her out here kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please. A few minutes later, you repeated her dragging Choco behind him. Told him I didn't want you, but he forced me. You drag the girl around. Terrible, you're terrible.
Here.
Dude, so now everyone's here? Right. Now let's look at the elevator, let's get the show on the road. Guys down there.
Let's go.
Looks like the shoot signals to come, nobody had monster.
Come on.
Let's descend. Now, guys. Before we get into it, we must pray to the fallen. Rest in peace, Leon. Rest in peace, Sayaka. Rest in peace, Shio. We will avenge you. Without hesitation, so finally. Do you think I redecorate isn't it fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Don't waste time with stupid question. Let's get this over with. Good. You're Brian to go. I was gonna say I don't hate it at all. I don't hate it. Not at all.
Well, chills,
Everyone, please find your assigned seats. So the current open once again. A daily judgment, a daily deception, a daily betrayal. Well, daily defense, daily flash try. Let's get important ones in our mind. So I know that the Celsius count is going to be important. This Prince Stain is going to be important. Shiro's handbook is going to be important, definitely. Locker room push are going to be important. The boys' locker room carpet is going to be important. The broken knee handbook is going to be important. The card reader is going to be important. Mondo's count might be important. Locker room dumbbell is important. All rise.
let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
The dumbbell. Give me what I got. Got it.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Interesting. That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Poor Chihiro.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
Was.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
No, it's wrong.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell.
Thank you,
As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yay! That's so creepy!
She acts like a sexual trip.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Lines of bright eyes repair structure reaction. Room for us to spare if they hit these lines. Obstacles in your debate. There's a way to keep this right away. Before you press the A button to test the sounds, which is to shoot down all your eyes. Jack case lock.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
No, it's wrong. I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Bloodlust.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle? Man, why is this gonna be so complicated?
I refuse to give up yet! Now I understand. Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
GID.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then...
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tongue without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You had only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it, but
Your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
You calm down, buddy.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
Person, you don't mean.
Oh boy.
Well, hello there. Is it me you were hoping to see? What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko. That's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little light. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
Beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
It's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed.
Yep.
Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about genocide death. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
I agree with Celeste here.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Death of the dead body.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches.
No, it's wrong. Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular clever way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one. I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. What?
That's right! In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce!
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking? So, are you saying...
I got it! Do you remember what they used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrist?
What is your problem?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there. Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
You just offend the ladies.
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
They were all... guys?
That's right! The people I killed with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl! And the mopey side of me just hates it! But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of a one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely. When you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lolly cur!
Lowly? Cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect.
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school.
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
She's fully equipped.
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong, you can't pen, you gutter terror dogs, all of you! Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
Yeah, but the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then, the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Look, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange. You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that.
On the contrary, there's...
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural...
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Shoot!
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird...
If you're presented with the opportunity,
That's a natural reaction for any...
The victim was Chihiro.
No, that's wrong. I'll tell you what's so strange about that, because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak. What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you?
There is more to it. We just talked about the...
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit.
You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
No, it's wrong.
I've seen it.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right? What's wrong?
Oh yes, that's what happened.
I don't disagree with nothing.
Kept calling this a game, right?
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Good. Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? I killed her in the girls' specifically. I dressed. What about all that bothers you?
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' lock, but are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
Rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey, don't just move on without permission.
Come on, if there's any chance the murder...
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room. Your proof? The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet, but I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the bloodstained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device, but Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you,
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah, I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook. She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used...
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
No, it's wrong.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have...
Okay then.
Hold, I agree with you though. I think you're on the right track.
Yeah.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So,
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
what?
What are you talking about?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Yeah. Let's break out the flag. I break out the flag. It's upside down. I break out the flag. I wish I hang that up here.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
Let's check it again.
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hands? No way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm freaked out or anything, it's just... based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl.
No, it's okay. So just leave this to me.
Sakura.
What is this? some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about? That's not it at all.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Claire, is that girl going to put you down?
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Starting to go right at Chow's life's form. Her massive frame trouble.
This girl is
what?
Is a boy.
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
Break out the flag, everybody! Newfound goal. Bring her murder to justice for the sake of the LGBTQ community. Let's go. Newfound respect. Newfound determination.
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true? Chihiro was a guy?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, no, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement. I do apologize for... We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy. And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever, we still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, It seemed to rattle you. And then again, when he found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Now then, if it...
Well, I don't think I can say for sure.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was...
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on...
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
I got it!
You die.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Shoot!
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer! And only the killer!
No, it's wrong! I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes. I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag, and then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd. Chihiro told me he was in a hurry, but why would he be in a hurry? Only if
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding.
which means that conversely, enough so that he was willing to. The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously? Who is it?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items.
Are you sure? You really think we can figure out who did it?
What? You want to try?
Even if we have the equipment for that.
As was noted, the evidence is all...
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to, but fine. Select. The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some
Perhaps. Let's... First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said was... First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
No, that's wrong. Hold on a second, Mondo.
Huh?
When Celeste testified, she never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro?
What are you... Hey, Celeste. What color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue?
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died. That's the only possibility.
Cherry?
Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony, when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with?
Ah, now I understand. Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it. To put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question. There was a certain turning point, but maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it appeared.
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
It's true. My
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a
That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence? Actually, no. Now that I'm...
Jeez, does your confidence just...
It happens to be an E.
I got it! We know Chihiro's hand forever.
I was...
Then it must hold some...
Well, that's what I was hoping.
I imagine the culprit broke.
That's odd. I didn't...
You're right. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip. But I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then
we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already! Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break! I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the temperature in the sauna can It's because if the hot air of the sauna were sucked that layer of air, so when you're in a sauna, that is
Anyway, then the killer must have been purposely...
meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out?
Indeed.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and once they had Chihiro's handbook...
I won't say it's not. I don't know of anyone.
I might know someone who did. I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was... Here's my answer. Mondo.
What? Why?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on! You've got it all wrong! He would never kill! I don't accept this! Show...
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Shoot!
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually... then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Makoto was wrong. Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
No, it's wrong.
It's yours.
Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation?
Well, there is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student. But if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, I'm happy to admit I made a mistake.
Son of a bitch. What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just...
Okay, then why don't we look that way?
So this would go here. Go back to every game because this is where it would go. Place after. That's make bloodlust. This would have been his. What am I missing?
The killer is you! First, last night, Celeste, at the time, she was a... That's something with bag in hand. She made her way to the locker. But how could the victim, who was a... The killer is you! With bag in, she made her way to the locker room. But how could the victim? Here's exactly what happened. With bag in hand, she made her way to the locker. But how could the victim? Here's exactly what happened.
No, pray to God.
With back, she made her way to the locker. But how could the victim? Simple, which is why he was a. Once inside, it seems like and attacked it. I refuse to give up yet. killer is you! First, let's take...
Try this.
Last night at the time, that something was a blue... With bag in hand, she made her way to the locker room. But how could the victim, who was... Simple. Because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook. Once inside, it seems likely that the killer grabbed and attacked. And that's where the blood stick... It was likely in the heat of the moment. Which is why then removing the... And finally carrying a girl's handbook, but this alone doesn't... After all, using one of those, and that's exactly the carpet and the post... They changed the layout of the boys and girls. That could have been the end. Byakuya discovered the... So, after he went and grabbed the extent... He used the cord to... Then, using he wanted to create the... The killer is you!
I mean, it have to be this one.
Here's exactly what happened. And around the same time that the killer they planned to destroy. And just as the killer expected, somehow, the killer, and the reason they knew that is, and that's how it all... Isn't that right, Mondo Owada?
Wait! No, this can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah, where's your evidence? You need evidence without any proof.
Let's do this shit.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you! False! Show me some evidence. I won't listen! False! You're corrupt! I refuse to vote! I refute you! False! You're corrupt! Show me some evidence. I won't listen! I refuse to vote! Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! Show me some evidence!
This should prove it.
I did it.
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced him, in which case, we can, once we do that.
You know, got it. Huh? Yeah, I did it. I killed him.
Poor boy.
Bro! What are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? What?
Spying the kill chart was Mondo Owada.
Unbelievable.
In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiata chose the wrong answer. You're trading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimari. You need to be more careful. I refuse to believe it. There's no way would kill someone.
Sorry.
Sorry.
What
Why are
is
you
this?
apologizing? Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Looks like we want to take a vow of silence, so let me explain on his behalf.
Actually...
Story of the bird, this time it's a sad story of two men. If anyone doesn't really want to hear it, hit the view and fast forward the text. There was once a young boy. His name was Chiharu Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak even though you're a boy. You hear things like that as long as he could remember. He couldn't overcome his weakness. Contrary, he tried to hide and bury himself further into that weakness. From the fragile form of a petite young girl. He chose that as his way out. Now, nobody will say anything about even though you're a boy. Tell you wrap yourself up in that shell, very complex to take and root deep inside, and not so easily weeded out. But the show is completely empty. Like Stan's experience, it only grew stronger and stronger. And weak.
Weak.
Once killing him against school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. Well, survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. The hateful Wakama announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. Of course, the great show is embarrassing, which is more willing to divulge. Just like a girl show, it's actually a boy.
Hey,
That I couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. This reveal, it would be the end. The hard show would crack, the armor fall away. Tell those around it would torture him more than ever before. Fear of being thrust such around must have sent him spiraling into despair. And yet,
I'm sorry.
I don't really want to talk about it right now.
But...
I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe we'll talk about it later. So I'm making talk about it. When he uses the thread of his discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. When it says even though you're a boy, I'll be okay, I'll be better. But better than thought his mind would take immediate action. And so... He was being excited, he was prepared to train change my body. But sadly, the first and only chance we get at it.
Hey,
When he asked Sarkson, he thought he would ask someone good for himself. Person's secret first, then ask him help from there. 1, 2,
Yeah, that's
was
right.
me. Yep, it sure was. Phil had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. I figured if he confided in my own song, keep him a secret.
uh-huh.
Sybil was a strong man than I was aspired to be. No hope it gives him more encouragement. He wanted to ask Mondo to help us become strong. It's aspiration. I doubt only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So Mamoto did what he did. Kid promised they made Chihiro. What? I mean, that's why Mamoto carried was up to go.
Indeed.
Yes, exactly what I mean. You done?
Certainly.
Could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. Real person was kept secret between many made Chihiro.
But
Because...
He'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Chihiro would immediately gonna suspect his identity. He tried to chase her, but putting him in the girls' locker room is doing help. See? He's promised he needs to also get killed. Why would you do that? I would. No matter what, I don't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
Triggered after all.
What is this?
Possible? How could it have been that bad? Saying you didn't want to. It's
You're wrong.
impossible.
Don't make me repeat
I start
myself.
to myself. JoJo's by downstairs. The head followed. Carbon any possible can. What do I tell you? The embarrassing moment. You see you doing it.
Hey!
No Mato did. He killed his own brother. Alright, the front bucket makes all the hoodlums and riffraff not good trump. The only thing he had a chance to get joined gang was because of certain stuff. When his other brother name was Daya Kawada. Nothing respecting him because Daya that married around a motorcycle. The only family grew up, he was the only one Mato could trust and respect. Measure up to his burger so he'd trade him and everything he did. Mato was the this Daya kid boy. But because of the local motorcycle gang. Before everyone knew it, he'd run the best bike gang in the country. And won the gang, and his number 2 was his younger brother Mondo. The gang everything was peaches and gravy. But when Mondo started to think about how he would take over his gang after his wrestling day, his brother's greatness, his reputation began to grow and dawn tomorrow's very soon. He's gonna take over for Dio, huh? That creates game experience, Mondo's just along for the ride. Go here. Too bad. It's already Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of other members of the gang. So why? Gotta go
I just...
once.
Don't fuck
I don't
with
care what it
me.
takes to guy. Challenge him to street race. He struck. Kid pushed out with Brooklyn Bend, ear for getting crashed into some oncoming traffic. Suddenly, finding his kid brother's arms, little brother over his final words. My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry. It was brother's fault. So, but never waited before he did. The kid, the rest of the team, how we two gotta get the gang together. Team you and me put together. It's a promise between them. He said to hide the truth of what happened to everyone else in the gang. In order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother. Never admit to him that his own weakness caused his accident. Result? You're sorry, under the banner of the kid who bested his brother. Brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. It's what happened, Mono died to come to truth. Keep somebody who's willing to do all kinds of lies to his brother. Strong. Strong. That's... As soon as our killing began, he realized no matter how tough it's trying to be, it was just no weekend that could die in him. When announced the meaning of the embarrassing letters, I had no problem studying why I was a secret. Brother. Well, the other gang's find out. Everything would be ruined. Had worked together would have been destroyed. Death, all the guilt I've been carrying around would be nothing. That's why I know. On command on me, I had felt kind of pleasant. I know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say after one of this. So to rock hard on his leg. It was right around then. Asked me to start working out with him. Right there, he told me his secret. Listen.
Huh? But... I want...
I wrapped myself in lies on week. I want to try that version of me. The words are like a knife in my gut. It's exposing the lie I've been calling myself. Change, I don't want to be wicked anymore. So strong and caring, right? Troubleless.
You piece of...
That's what you're saying I should say.
What?
You're saying if I really am, I should be.
What?
Huh?
She's jealous. Just chose strength. You had the strength to face it and we could try and overcome it. Strength I never had. She's jealous of me. And that jealousy broke me.
What?
No!
You're saying you're starting freak saying inside my head. What's to do? I was supposed to just sit back while my secret career villain and everything.
What's...
Damn you! Yeah, that's... You son of...
Everything after that. Getting was lying on my feet covered in blood. I had the drum on my hand. I was just staring at the guy.
I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Hondo. So aggressive, I hate that freaks out for everyone. That's the secret. Means that why her like it's too brother. Give me, see, you're all just like him. Take it from the past for remember. Now you can't know him being a cold blood. It's not, it doesn't know strange to us. Do you see hope anywhere? Because I don't, sure don't. You bastard. You should be some bitch. Go ahead and say it again, dear you.
Yeah.
Say as many times as I want to, what I want to say, but unfortunately I can't do it now because it's time for punishing is fast approaching. Punishing.
It can't be.
I mean execution.
Well now.
Come on, the black is supposed to be punished.
Ridiculous.
Well then, I prepared a very special punishment.
We're the ultimate fight for gang leader. No, wait.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
I said wait!
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Mondo has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. Monokuma. Cage of Death. God damn it. Twice, 2 times the bat. I've had death and your soul will be forever at peace. It can't be. My brother. Made another execution. Says screen first, we will show this once again. But he of course had to. Wait a moment, is this the end of the game? Byakuya?
This.
Wait a second, you know what? You know that game? One of our friends is dead. Do you realize that?
Naturally.
So because this game is life or death.
Hey,
You say to you, but I don't have a response. Say that.
however,
I don't understand why. Why do you gotta wait to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
Why? Obvious, because it made things more interesting. Because I was in the library as usual.
Honestly,
Mad at me, I don't recall agreeing to it.
there is nothing to be done.
So I returned to my room, but I saw upon him. The monster spawned coming out of the door left the room. So I saw the corpse.
Well,
That's right.
You beat all that to liven things up.
I see.
But
Someone, it never did.
Interesting.
Correct. Indeed. Hey,
What's this?
Oh, I'm up next?
you.
For one of these elaborate executions each time, correct? Question is why. Do you like them? But you know, this punishment, this spirit, it's not just for you. All spirits my gift to mankind itself.
What?
For exaggerating. Not over exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope into despair.
Damn.
Mean. 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 Mean.
What the
Mean. So I put every little thing, stupid thing apart. Whatever, it doesn't matter. And I'm gonna send one switch your name will be revealed to me.
Ooh.
So I'm always found. Sure, you understand me. I think it's the start of a terrifying friendship.
That's enough.
Shut up, I never stooped to the level of childish from like you. It's after I achieve proof that you're up next. I'm gonna kill you, understand?
In the name of my family.
Name of the strong fan, which Victor is growing concerned.
You're getting all riled
My kid for video gamers like, no trash mob for you. I will kill you. Victor, sounds like someone needs a nap. Come on, guys. Hang on, guys, sorry. Come on, guys. Come on, guys.